the hidden architecture of New York's financial power. New York City, the beating heart of global finance. A skyline that doesn't just touch the clouds, it tells a story. A story written in stone, steel, and ambition. But behind every skyscraper and every bank vault lies something deeper. A hidden architecture that built not just the city, but the financial world itself. Welcome to the hidden architecture of New York's financial power. It all began in 1792, under a buttonwood tree on Wall Street. 24 stockbrokers signed what became known as the Buttonwood Agreement, a simple pact that created the New York Stock Exchange. From that tree grew a forest of towers, and each one represented a new chapter in America's rise to financial dominance. Show J.P. Morgan building at 23 Wall Street. Let's start here. 23 Wall Street, the home of J.P. Morgan & Co. No giant glass tower, no flashy sign, just pure power in stone. Built in 1913, its fortress-like design symbolized stability and secrecy. This was where Morgan himself ruled, a man so powerful that when the U.S. economy trembled in 1907, he single-handedly saved Wall Street from collapse. They called it the Corner, and for decades, this modest granite building was the nerve center of American capitalism. Cut to Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Exterior and interior gold vault shots. Voiceover. Just a few blocks away stands another architectural marvel, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, completed in 1924. It was inspired by the palaces of Florence, Italy, but what's inside is even more impressive. The world's largest gold vault, 80 feet below street level. More than 6,000 tons of gold are stored here, not just for the U.S., but for countries around the world. A symbol that New York wasn't just America's bank, it was the world's banker. Transition. Black and white images to 1920s boom. Voiceover. The 1920s brought a new kind of architecture, one that shouted money and modernity. Skyscrapers like 40 Wall Street, the Chrysler Building, and later the Empire State Building rose to represent not just corporate ambition, but financial faith, the belief that America's prosperity had no limit. Each tower became a monument to the stock market boom. And when the crash came in 1929, those same towers stood as silent witnesses to dreams built and destroyed overnight. Cut to New York skyline post-World War II. Voiceover. After World War II, the financial architecture of New York changed again. Glass and steel replaced stone and marble. Transparency became the new symbol of trust. Buildings like the Seagram Building and One Chase Manhattan Plaza showed that finance was no longer confined to dark vaults and private rooms. It was sleek, modern, and global. This was the era when Wall Street became Wall Street, a brand, a symbol, and an idea that defined wealth itself. Show Twin Towers, then modern-day One World Trade Center. Then came the Twin Towers, completed in the 1970s. At 110 stories, they weren't just office space, they were a declaration. New York was the capital of capitalism. When they fell on September 11, 2001, it wasn't just an attack on buildings. It was an attack on the very idea of global finance. But out of the ashes rose One World Trade Center, a gleaming symbol of resilience, rebuilt to show that finance, like architecture, can rise again. Show Wall Street today. NYC, digital billboards, tech offices, new skyscrapers. Voiceover. Today, New York's financial architecture has evolved once more. The trading pits have gone digital. The brokers are now algorithms. And yet, the buildings still matter. Because architecture isn't just about walls and windows. It's about power. The way a building looks can tell you who runs the world. Look around Lower Manhattan. The new glass towers of Goldman Sachs, One Vanderbilt, and Hudson Yards aren't just offices. They're symbols. Symbols of an economy that's faster, smarter, and more global than ever before. Closing scene. Sweeping drone shot of Manhattan at sunset. From a buttonwood tree to billion-dollar skyscrapers, New York's architecture tells the story of how money shapes cities, and how cities, in turn, shape our future. Because every stone, every vault, every tower isn't just part of New York's skyline. It's part of the world's financial blueprint. This isn't just architecture. It's the architecture of power.